top and bottom. Well, that's said poorly. Because this is the base, you almost want to think of this thing like flipped up, it's standing on it, but the thing that's not the base is the lateral area. So this 8 by 10 here is also part of the lateral area. You have two of those.
Gotcha.
Okay. Okay, so now we can just find these areas. Okay, the first one is 40, but there's two of them, that's 80. This one on the right here, 80, but there's two of them, that's 160. So the lateral area is these two together, which is 240.
Okay.
Now there are more, there are some formulas here, but with a prism, you can sort of just look at the shapes and things like that. The surface area always includes the lateral area plus the bases.
Gotcha.
And we'll see in some, so good.
So if you have the lateral area, you just do the 4 times 8 and then times it by 2.
Exactly.
By 2, which is 64. So 64 okay. Plus 240 is 304.
Yes. And maybe in a better problem, there would be units, but I don't have them in this problem here. Okay, so is that kind of clear here before I give you one to try on your own?
Yeah.
And there are some formulas, like there are things like there's the perimeter times the height. There's, you know, a few other things here that might come to mind. So let me grab another shape here and another prism, and let's see if we can kind of look at this one. Okay, here we go. So you have to be told what the base is. There's no way around it. Like in a prism, you can't really conclude what it is unless they tell you, because it could sit on any of the faces. So let's for a moment, well, I'll ask you, which one do you see as being a base?
Yeah.
I'll draw a few different options here. Like that one, maybe the one on the back here. What do you see as the base?
Is it not the blue one? I don't know, the blue line one that you did?
You must have a different one. I've got black, red, and blue.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, the black one, I mean.
Okay, let's go with the black one. That's fine. Okay, now what could be unclear is that this 12 up here is also the 12 down here.
Mm-hmm.
So let's draw the base. You know, it's good to find the area of the base. The base is this thing on the bottom. It's 9 times 12. You'll see me rewriting that a few times. It's good to kind of rewrite the base, rewrite the rectangles or the squares.
Right. So, and then.
Okay, so now that's not the surface area, but there's two of those.
There's two of those.
I'm sorry. It's not the lateral area, but it's the base, and there are two of those. There's the top and the bottom. So then you have to find the other two, and I'll take either kind of dimensions of one of the other ones. What do you see here?
So I see 9 times 9.
Good.
And then 9 times 12 as well.
Yeah, so there's another one, right? So this one actually has a square base. Yeah, 9 times 12. So this is one of those oddities where when you're doing the lateral area, it's sort of like the base, but it's just another face. And this is obviously a lot easier to do if you're more of a visual person where you can kind of see things rotating, but you know, we're going to do the best we can. So 81, this is 108 again. You got two of them. Could you calculate the lateral area of this?
So if I need to do, so we'll do 81 times 2, which is 162, and then 108 times 2, which is 216. The lateral area would be 378.
78. So we got 216 here and 162 here. Good. And then units, what are units of area?
Centimeters.
Centimeters squared. Some courses, they ding you on that. Like they really, they emphasize units as much as the answer. So now for the surface area, you always take the lateral area, that number you just calculated, 278 plus the base. So the base in this problem is that 108, but you have two of them.
I got 594
Good. What are the units of surface area?
centimeters cubed
Squared.
squared.
Areas are always squared. Areas are always squared. All right, new problem here. Doing well on these. This is the triangle slice of pizza box or cheese wedge or something. So what shape, this is my question to you, is what shape is
The 3 times 4, like the
triangle?
the triangle.
Good. Yeah, really good. I mean, that's really important. They're parallel. Like if you could hold out your hands and see that they don't touch because they're the same base, that's a good indicator there. So that's good. All right. The lateral area is everything else. It's that front rectangle, but notice there's only one of those. Okay. It's the kind of and I'll label it 5 and 1. There's kind of that one back left rectangle, 3 and 1, and then there's kind of that one back right, 4 and 1, like that.
Yes.
So these represent the lateral area, but there's only one of each this time.
Gotcha. So I would just do 5 times 1, 3 times 1, and 4 times 1, which
Yes.
just gives me 5, 3, and 4. Which 5 plus 3 plus 4 is 12. So the lateral
What are
area will be 12 meters or miles
miles squared?
and then the surface area will be
You have to get the area of this triangle, this base.
will be 2. Oh wait, so it's I gotta do 12, so that's 24 plus 12, which gives me 36.
12 divided by, so this one's base times height divided by 2.
Oh,
Divided by 2. And that should be on your formula sheet tomorrow, hopefully.
4
That's a
times
big one.
3 divided by 2, but there's 2 of those, so just be 12 plus 12 is 24.
Yes.
So it'd be 12 mile or 24 miles squared.
Right. So that surface area, very good, is the lateral area plus the bases again. It's the 24 plus the 4 times 3 divided by 2, but there's 2 of them. So I'm sorry, the 12, not 24. And that is 24 miles squared. Very good. Okay. Let me give you one to try on your own here. I'm going to give you, there's a side that you do need that's not given. I'm going to help you out here. So this is another kind of cheese wedge thing. You do need this other length of the triangle there. How do you find the third side of a right triangle?
The a squared plus b squared equals c squared.
Yes, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And if we did this, it'd be 5 squared plus 12 squared equals c squared, and you get 25 plus 144 equals c squared. 169 equals c squared, c equals 13. I'm giving you that because you want it to move a little faster here, but I want you to first find the lateral area, please. Just the lateral area. They're all rectangles because just like the last problem, the base here is that triangle, the top and the bottom. So if you could just find that area of the lateral area for me, please. And I'll check your answer here whenever you got it.
15 times 5, 15 times 12. So for this one, I would only have one 15 times 5, correct?
That's right.
But I would have two 12 times 15. Because there's 2
No, there's the
Oh,
one rectangle on the front, one on the right, and one on the left. Yeah.
yeah, so that would be 15 times, 15 times 13. 15 times 13. So 15 times 5, 70, 75. 15 times 20. 13. So it would be a lateral area of 450 inches squared.
You're so close here. I mean, you're right there. It's 5 times. Wait a second here. No, I'm wrong. You are right. Sorry about that. I had a mistake in mine. There it is. Yes, it is 450. What are the units?
Inches squared.
Inches squared. Well done. Okay. So then the surface area, you're adding in the area of the triangles, top and bottom here. 5 times 12 divided by 2 plus 5 times 12 divided by 2. What does that become for the surface area?
12. Gives me 30. So times by 2, that's 60. So 60 plus 450 is 510. So
You got it.
510 inches squared.
You got it. Good job. Okay. Really good. Really good. Those are kind of the nice ones. I mean, I hate saying that, but that's it's kind of the truth. So the next ones that you'll see are, I assume you've done some pyramids.
Yes.
Yes, I mean or actually we should move to cylinders first. Sorry about that. We should move to cylinders first. Okay. So the cylinder is much like a prism that we've been doing. They are prisms, but the lateral area of the prism is a rectangle. It's it used to be that the soup cans came with labels that you could peel off. I mean, you can peel off some labels now, but it's really a rectangle. It's got a height. And then the length up here at the top is the circumference of the circle, which is 2 pi r. So you sometimes see a formula for the lateral area of a cylinder as 2 pi r h, 2 pi r h.
So
Is that the?
2 pi RH.
So you'll
Yeah.
be given that, I think,
Yeah.
which means I have to give you the radius, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to give you the diameter. I'm going to tell you the diameter is 10 inches. I'm going to tell you the height is 12 inches here. Could you find the lateral area for me, please?
So that would be 2 times by 2 times pi. And then r would be 5 times by 12, which gives me 376.99.
So what if I didn't want, and that, it's good that you're doing that, but what if I wanted you to do it in terms of pi?
Oh, that would be.
Meaning,
It would
and the
be,
radius here is 5, by the way.
yeah.
So
So
that would be
5 times 12 would just be 60. So it would be, I could do 2 pi 60.
okay. So 60 pi, good. Uh, but what are the units there? What are the units of lateral area?
Oh, inches squared.
Inches squared. Good. So that's the exact answer. And then if you wanted to go to a calculator, you could. You know, that's totally, depends on what the teacher says, or if it says to round your answers, things like that. Now the surface area is the lateral area plus the bases. So this time, what are the shape of the bases?
So the base is, it's a circle. So you'd have to find the radius, and then
Okay.
you times that by the height, and then you divide that by 3, right?
Pi r squared for the
Oh.
area of the circle.
So I would do,
But you've got 2 of them. So I might throw that in. It's 120 pi plus 2 pi times 5 squared.
2 pi squared, which gives me, I guess in this case it would be, if you didn't want the, oh, let me not give you the exact. So you
Yeah,
just
let's do exact first, and then if you want, you can go to the calculator. That's totally up to you.
so that would be 100 in this case, because, or wait,
5 squared is 25 times 2 is 50.
wait,
50. So that's 120 pi plus 50
oh,
pi.
I did it 5 times 2, then square rooted it.
Okay, so yeah, and use your calculator to just do the calculations. You might as well um, use the technology if it's available.
So yeah, that just gives me 120 plus 50 is 170 pi inches squared.
Very good. Okay, so let's look at another problem here with a cylinder. And let me see if I can frame this correctly. All right, so I'd like you to tell me the value of the radius and the height, please.
So the radius is 13.
Okay.
And the height is 7.
Yes, very good. That was my main concern here is, would you be able to recognize that the height is always the distance between the two bases? Like if this thing were flattened on its side, you can think of these as like posts holding up between the floor and the ceiling. And that's really how you want to look at the height. The height is always the distance between the floor and the ceiling here. So would you calculate the lateral area, which is 2 pi r8, and then the surface area, which is 2 pi r8 plus pi r squared. And I'd like the answers exact with upper units, please.
So
Sorry, and this is 2 pi r squared down here.
So 13 times 7 gives me 91, and then I would times that by 2, or no, that'd be 91 pi times 2 would give you the exact answer, I guess, if I wanted to get 571.7. But could I just write it like 91 pi times 2? Would that be an acceptable way to write?
Did you say 182 pi?
Oh, I could,
Miles.
miles squared.
Yes.
And then I need to find.
Good.
So then I'll just do r squared, which is 13 squared, gives me 169. But times that by 2, which gives me 338 pi plus 182, which gives me 520 pi inches squared.
Very good. Really good. Okay, let's quickly talk about a cone. So cone is the party hat here. Let me say, I'll make the problem pretty basic here. Let's say it's something like this. They tell you that it's 5 and it's 12. Okay. And the lateral area of a cone is IRL. And you might wonder, well, what is L? L is what's called this thing called the slant height.
Yes.
You might see it as S or something in a different textbook. But to calculate this, we've kind of already did that in earlier problems. I'm going to tell you it's 13. We'll go centimeters here, centimeters. So could you give me the lateral area, please?
So
in terms of pi?
So that would be pi r times thing. So I just do 5 times 13, which gives me 65 pi is the lateral area.
And units?
Centimeters squared.
Now the surface area is the lateral area plus the base. I was writing bases, but this only has one base, which is just a circle. So it's 65 pi plus pi r squared.
Pi r squared, which is just 5 squared, which is, that's not 5 squared, which is 25. So 25 plus 65 gives me 90 pi squared, or pi centimeter squared.
Really good. So sometimes they're more, helpful here. They give you the plant height, like they might tell you this is 17. They might tell you that the diameter is 16 in the problem.
Mhm.
So could you find the lateral area pi RL and then the surface area pi RL plus pi R squared?
8 times 17 gives me 136 pi. Or pi, there's no units. And then to get that would be just be 8 squared plus 1.6 would give me 200 pi whatever squared.
Okay, yeah, whatever units you got there. Very good. Okay, the other one we did not do, we'll just maybe talk about really briefly is like, let's say it's some sort of a triangular pyramid. It's drawn really poorly. Sorry, let me grab a snip. We don't have enough time to do any problems, especially for brothers jumping on here, but let me point out, grab one of these. So you can see it. It's really no different than what we've been doing. This time you have 4 triangles for the lateral area. And they typically give you the base and the height of them, but you've got 4 of them. And then for the surface area, you add in the base. So for the pyramids, you got to find the area of each of the triangles, which are typically the same. They could be different, but not for a square pyramid. So
would I just do 7 times 8.7 and then times that by 4 for the lateral area?
you have to divide by 2 first.
So 7 times 8.7 divided by 2 gives me 30.45. Then you times that by 4, which gives me 121.8 feet squared would be the lateral.
Okay, and then you add the
The base, so that'd be 7 times 7, which is 49. 49 plus 121.8 is 170.8 centimeter, or in feet squared would be the answer.
All right, well, we're going to go ahead and stop right here for our part of the lesson today.